Welcome to Sam's Russian Adventures. It's a Saturday afternoon here in Russia in the middle of July, and I'm going to take a walk around the city centre so that you can compare it to the city centre wherever you live in the world, because I think that the city centres generally in Russia are completely different to the West. So this is like a mini park, and we have loads of these little mini parks here in Russia. Just a small area with a kids playground, a few walkways, some benches. They usually have some sort of statue or fountain in the middle. So some of the things you'll notice that are completely different are, of course, the people, the nationalities of the people, and the cleanliness as well. They're the things you're going to notice immediately that are different. Now obviously you can see that here some of the old Russian style houses are still here. I'm not pretending that it's absolutely immaculate and modern, but it's different. I often come to this park just to sit down and relax. Goggle. No, that's not what you wear when you go swimming. Now, I chat to so many local people when I don't have the camera. So much more difficult when you've got the camera, because they see it, they don't want to speak, completely understand that, but we're going to try anyway. Извините, пожалуйста, вы из Владимира, да? Да. Да? И вы часто сюда приезжаете в этот парк, нет? And so that was the kind of awkward interaction that you have when you're going to people with the camera, right? So, but we can keep trying, and we'll probably get some interesting conversations as we go. Over here, look, we've got all the scooters lined up. Interesting. I wonder if this is one of the places where they put them, or if a load of kids all came and left them here. So one thing you're probably noticing already is the lack of any litter at all. Okay, the lawns might not be as amazingly manicured as in some places, but the lack of any kind of litter. No tents, of course. Здравствуйте. Может вопрос? Очень окей. Вы из Владимира, да?
Нет.
А вы откуда приехали?
Москвы.
И как вам Владимир?
Nice.
Nice, да?
Да.
Маленький, да?
Ну он маленький, уютный,
Ага.
такой аутентичный городок, и
Понятно.
он, можно подумать, что в каком-то районе Питера, но все равно до Питера
Понятно.
не дотягивает.
Ну понятно, ясно. Спасибо.
Спасибо вам.
До свидания. So you see, those people are from Moscow, right? And immediately they found it difficult to answer this question as to whether it's good or not, because Moscow is on a completely different level to Vladimir. The amount of sightseeing opportunities, the modern infrastructure, everything is in Moscow. But Vladimir is like a small kind of quaint city centre. Even though the population of Vladimir is 300,000 people, you wouldn't think so from the size of the centre. Here it says the region's dentist and polyclinic, and here we've got another one of those little park areas, and it's just a peaceful place to kind of come and sit down, perhaps eat your lunch on your lunch break. Only the size of about maybe a football pitch or something like that, but you can see that it's just peaceful and nice. And you can see we've got lights that work on solar, and these obviously make the park very nice in the evening to come and walk through. No danger, of course, walking around Vladimir. You're not going to have any problems at all. I guess the biggest problem I could possibly have today is someone telling me not to film them, which is their right? This is something you don't often see in the West. Policemen standing at the road, just kind of like protecting the town, stopping potential dangerous vehicles. What have we got here? It says here used to be a hospital, and this is the cross, look, the red cross of the hospital, you see. Now it's a university. Right here, this is the most famous part of our town. Unfortunately, it's being refurbished right now. It's the Golden Gate, and it would have been the old kind of medieval entrance to the town, but obviously it's being refurbished. But I'll put a photo on there so you can see what it's like. Look how we've got nice flowers all around. There you go, you can see the police have stopped a car from out of town, and you can tell which cars are from different regions because the last numbers on the far right hand side are different for each town and each region, and so it's easy for the police to see which of the cars are not from Vladimir, pull them over maybe if they look suspicious. And so here we are on the main street that runs through the town. This is called Big Moscow Street. So right here, this is a mound that used to run around the entire town all the way to the gate, kind of protecting the town, and I'll go and show you from the other side. Here we've got some posters displaying some heroes of the Russian Federation and heroes of the Soviet Union. We've got a church over there. This over here is the theatre. These are the tourist buses that are bringing people from different cities to Vladimir for the day. Vladimir is about 2 hours drive from Moscow, and so it's a popular tourist destination. This area here is really popular with the kids because there's one of those fountains where the water kind of dances to the music, and obviously on a hot day like this you can see all the kids are just playing around and their parents are probably sitting on the benches around the edge. But one thing you cannot see is litter. Again, no litter, no people begging outside, none of that at all. No kind of undesirables at all, right? Just families and people walking around and enjoying the sun in the city centre. Got no idea who these dudes are. Guess they came here to find their fortune. Let me know in the comments what are some of the differences that you notice from the city centre of your town or your city or village or wherever you live and the city centre of Vladimir. Now, Vladimir is actually the first capital of Russia. It was basically created, I think, by Prince Vladimir. He was the first ruler, and yeah, Vladimir's got loads of history, loads of interesting places to walk around. And I'd say the city centre is more about history and then a mixture of kind of souvenir shops, bars, cafes, things like that, rather than your big kind of department stores. They're all kind of hidden inside the shopping malls. Over here we've got a Catholic church. Obviously the main churches in Russia are Orthodox, but we have Catholic and we have Protestant churches too. So you'll notice often that the infrastructure is not as good, not brand new, but it's nice and well maintained and looking pleasant. And some of the types of architecture as well. This one here, I believe, is a hotel. So I'll be honest with you, I don't think they've got a bell in the church. I think it's speakers, but it's still nice, right? This one here is also a hotel. So now we're just on the edge of the city centre, and I'm gonna take a walk back down this direction to the Golden Gate. That's not looking very golden, of course, at the moment because of the refurbishment that's going on with it. So one of the interesting things in Russia is that even buildings that are kind of like perhaps not the most amazing places inside are actually looking really amazing outside. Like, for example, this is the clinic you come to if you need to have drug tests and things like that, mainly for documents, you know, if you're renewing your passport or getting your driving license, things like that. This right here used to be an American school, and as you can see, it's not working anymore. Or maybe I'll make a video about that sometime if you're interested to know what happened to it. Here we've got a brand new building that looks old, and this building, well, I'll go over the fence, it's not opened yet. I'm guessing it's going to be a museum of, oh, I'm falling over, of some type. What do you think of that? It's nice when they build things that are new but they're looking old, right? Здравствуйте. Вы из Владимира, да? Нет, а откуда приехали?
Из области.
Владимирской области. Понятно. А вы любите вот здесь просто приезжать погулять?
Да,
Да? А самые лучшие места? Самые хорошие? Или везде хорошие?
Да, везде хорошо.
Да? Хорошо, отлично.
А вы откуда?
Я из Англии.
Ух ты.
Из Англии, да, да, так что.
Здесь остановились в области?
Я 20 лет уже здесь живу, в Владимире, да. Так что вот.
Обрусили.
Обрусили, да, можно сказать, да, точно. Ладно, спасибо. So on nice warm weekends I can actually interact a lot more with the people here because there's so many tourists. All of the people from Vladimir actually drive out of town, go to the dachas, go away for the weekend, go swimming and things like that. Whereas all the people from different regions come to Vladimir to walk around and kind of soak up the atmosphere, and so I get to interact because they think I'm a tourist, I've just arrived now, and so they're more relaxed about me interacting with them on camera. So look at some of the souvenirs we have of Vladimir. We have everything you can think of, everything you can think of, from swords to little guns to teddy bears, magnets, everything you can possibly think of. Maybe you can find your name on here. Let's see if we have any English names. Anna, have we got any Annas maybe? Can't see any other English names. Maybe Denise could be an English name. And of course they're probably all selling the same things. Let's bet it's boiling hot in there today. Wow, I bet they're really hot in there. Maybe I'll go buy him some ice creams and bring them back, eh? So I had a little chat with the lady who's in there, and she said it wasn't hot, but I said, perhaps you'd like an ice cream? And she said, I'm not going to say no, so I'm going to go over here, grab a few ice creams and bring them more back to the people that are sitting in these huts and sweating like crazy. So as you can see from here, this is the mound that we walked past before, and people actually ski down here and go down on their bikes and stuff, the kids. One thing you'll probably notice is how green everything is in the city centre. It's designed for places for people to walk around and feel comfortable, for families, for tourists. So you can see we've got signage in English as well. Would you expect to see signage in Russian in your part of the world? Probably not. We've got a few adverts for some things going on in the town. Here you see July, and this is the list of all the things. We've got exhibitions, we've got concerts and festivals and events. And this over here is a former water tower that's now been converted into like a museum, the history of Vladimir. Look, you can see we've got people chilling out on the grass. And we've got big groups of people over there. You can see they're probably on an excursion. Someone's walking around telling them all the things. We've got kids running around. We've got a private garden here that you can pay to go inside. I don't know if we're working today. I think it might be working. Perhaps we'll come and do a video about this place another time, because it's like a, you know, a very well kept garden area. So here we've got some of the history of the place. We've got some history about the nature reserve, that's what they're calling it through there, and some of the ways the kids are learning to look after it. Here it's called an eco station, and it's got some history about the kids looking after that. Here we've got our botanical gardens and the history about that. Then we've got the plan. and the biotechnical cluster, this is called. And here we've got the edge of the town again, the bridge over there, massive traffic jams today going over the bridge getting out of Vladimir. It's interesting, everyone wants to leave. One thing that I like to be able to do here as well is I chat to the tourists and then tell them places that they maybe don't know. Like, we've got a secret garden over here, and I actually only learned about this garden about a month ago. Somebody showed me, and I was walking past it like every day for the last like 10 years. And so it's nice to be able to share these little nuggets with tourists as well, because pretty much everybody walking around now here is a tourist. Over here, this place is selling pancakes. It says Blinichki, which is a place that sells pancakes. Can you see the difference in dress between people, how people are dressing in Russia, in Vladimir, compared to the rest of the world? Вы из Владимира, да?
Нет.
Нет. А как вам Владимир?
Очень прекрасно.
А вы знаете, что здесь есть секретный сад, очень красивый? So I'm going to go and show the garden. I went to this garden the other day and walked around in there, so I'll go and show you what it's like. So here we are, walking between the two church buildings. One's a chapel, the other one is the main church. And then we come through here. Not many people know about this at all. It's very interesting. There's not ever many people here because there's no signage really. Oh, they've cut all the roses. What's going on? All of these roses here, they've cut them all down. I guess it's a business. I guess they sell them. All the amazing roses have gone. That's madness. I can't believe it. Oh, I can't believe that. Anyway, I got to film it a different day, so on another of my videos you'll see how beautiful it all is. And so you'll notice that this area here, not for cars, even though you can see a few cars have smuggled the way down here. Got a few paintings and things for sale there, pretty cool, aren't they? Very nice. And here we've got a water well that kids can drink from and stuff, and lots of little souvenirs for sale, and of course flowers everywhere. And here we've got an old fire hose that kids like to play with his fire hose. And these are all the kind of handmade things, look, that the people are making and selling on the streets here. Let's ask these people if they're from here. Здравствуйте. Вы из Владимира, да? Откуда вы приехали? О, и как вам Владимир? Да? А как, что вы, где вы уже посещали? Что?
Мы только прошли вот сюда.
А, да? Ну ладно, спасибо. And so a lot of the idea here in the center is to save the kind of old buildings, to reconstruct the old buildings so that people can get an idea of what it was like in the past, rather than just knocking down those buildings and making new ones. What I like is the amount of flowers that you see everywhere. It really is incredible. So I like to do nice things for people, and I'm seeing this person here is looking at this bag. If she doesn't buy it, I'll buy it and give it to her. So look, we've got it, and now we're going to give it to this stranger. See what they Извините, пожалуйста, я чужой человек, я люблю делать подарки чужие люди, я видел, что вы смотрели. Возьмите, пожалуйста, от меня.
Спасибо
Пожалуйста, пожалуйста.
Спасибо.
У меня
А
есть...
вы из какой страны?
Я из Англии. Из Англии, да. У меня есть канал на YouTube, я просто вот сейчас вот снимал этот момент, я просто люблю делать добрый дел. Так что, пожалуйста, вы из Владимира, да? Или
Нет, из Санкт-Петербурга.
О.
Мы приехали сюда тоже.
Я слышу, что Владимир это как очень маленький кусочек в Петербурге.
Ну, не совсем на самом
Да?
деле, да.
Ну,
Не совсем. В Питере все-таки там больше, знаете, ну вот
масштабный
архитектура.
тоже, да?
И архитектура, там же вот французы у нас поработали над нами, над всем вот архитектурой.
Но люди из Петербурга очень добрый. Всегда. Общительный, добрый, вот так это обличается совсем. Так
А
что
вы до Суздаля потом доедете?
я здесь живу уже, 20 лет я здесь. Так Суздаль я уже разов, да.
Мы сейчас живем в Суздале, ну вот приехали погостить, и вот просто сюда вот в
Ну,
Владимир.
Суздаль это,
тоже-
конечно, да,
Ой,
хорошо,
вообще
да?
сердечко самое,
Да.
да. Мы прям
Вот.
вот в том году побывали, мы очень влюбились. А здесь вот тоже погуляли,
О.
посмотрели, вот друзей тоже привезли показать,
Ага.
и потом вот туда обратно.
Отлично.
вернемся.
Я рад,
Да.
что вы приехали и что понравилось, и все.
Здорово.
Спасибо.
Да, вам спасибо.
So look, that went really well, didn't it? It was so nice. She was so pleased, so happy. Oh, such a good mood that's got me in. So we're going to get some ice cream. I don't know what you call them in Russia. They're called ice, basically.
Рады вас видеть. Приходите к нам еще. 420.
Спасибо.
Спасибо вам. На свидание.
Давайте посмотрим. Подожди.
Давай,
Нет, пошел, да?
400.
Хорошо.
400.
Спасибо.
Всего хорошего.
До свидания.
Салфеточку нужно вам?
Нет, нет, нет.
Да, спасибо.
Подарок.
спасибо
Пожалуйста.
большое,
Пожалуйста.
спасибо.
До свидания.
До свидания.
So now we're going to go and give these ice creams to these people that are working in these souvenir huts all day and sweating like mad, I guess. I bet it's boiling in there. But let me ask you this. Would you take an ice cream from a stranger? Let's see if they do. So I've only got 6 and hopefully there's not more than 6 of them there. I'm going to give them to the lady that I spoke to first. Здравствуйте. У меня для вам подарок. Я понимаю, что вы здесь сидите, жарко. Для всех есть. Для вас тоже. Пожалуйста. Пожалуйста, я сейчас даю соседу тоже. Пожалуйста.
Спасибо.
Пожалуйста, пожалуйста.
А денежку вам
Не надо, ничего не надо.
Спасибо.
От меня, просто от сердца.
спасибо.
Пожалуйста. А вы уже мороженое кушаете? Я ходил, для вам купил мороженое. А вы не хотите второй? Я уже его всем давал. А там нет никого еще? Нет? Сидит? Давайте, возьмите.
Спасибо.
Пожалуйста. Можно. На, возьмите.
Спасибо.
Пожалуйста. Здравствуйте. У меня для вас подарок. Я всем раздавал, так что, чтобы спасать вам от жару.
Спасибо большое.
Пожалуйста. До свидания. So there you go. Got rid of all of them. Only one person didn't want it. That's the guy. And to be fair, you know, the women probably prefer to accept the ice cream from a stranger rather than a man. He probably thinks I can go to the shop myself. I'm a man if I want an ice cream and get one. And we had one person ask for seconds. We've got some bells here, although they're not very frequent. Have you seen anything here that you'd like the look of? Things that maybe you'd like to buy yourself? These things. Some ballerinas. Look at this dude here. We've got loads of interesting things. This person doesn't like me filming his stuff. I've been past a few times. I've got the Soviet badges and the necklaces and things there. But tell me, what have you noticed from this city centre that's different to yours? I guess the architecture is one thing. Anything else? Perhaps the people, the types of people, the types of things that the people wear maybe, the clothes, perhaps the way they seem to be behaving. Any differences, let me know. Let's see if we can maybe do another present for somebody. If we can find someone potentially wanting to buy but not buying. You've got loads of different kind of things for sale, all the souvenirs you can think of. Here we've got like old kind of Russian clothes and stuff inside. What a beautiful day, right? Beautiful day. So over here, this is like a viewpoint. The thing is, I'm not saying anything bad about it, but there's nothing really to view. That's the thing. Nothing really to view at all. It's just kind of a square, I guess, more than anything. Maybe like events and things get held here, but nothing really interesting. And if we look over here, we can see that we've got a traffic jam. There we go. So this right here is one of my favorite little kind of alleyways that I love to walk down. It's just beautiful. You just feel so great walking down it if I can get through all the tourists. It's just so peaceful to walk down here. Oh, it reminds you of like times gone by. I guess not reminds me, it's not like I lived in these times, but still it's just nice to walk down. What do you think of the dress of some of the people here? Do you think people dress the same in your part of the world? Let me know. I'm really interested to know the differences. Are they very different, or is everything pretty much the same? So we're heading now back onto the main street that we were on before, but just a little bit further down the road. It's very noisy on this street today. Let's ask these people if they're from Vladimir. Извините, пожалуйста, вы из Владимира, да? Скажите, пожалуйста, что здесь самое лучшее? Куда посещать? Что посещать?
Самое интересное, вот вдоль этой улицы и солнце.
Ладно, хорошо, спасибо огромное. So all along here we've just got little museums, little cafes and souvenir shops. That's pretty much it. Guess the age of the church. I'm going to give you a couple of seconds, pause the video and write the age of the church in the comment section, because this church is about 2 or 3 years old, maybe 5 at the most. Before there used to be a pancake shop here, and now an old brand new church. And in Vladimir we've got loads of these little kind of windways that go off the edge of the city centre, like down here. Here we've got a couple of museums, and then obviously the summer cafe again, and another museum there as well, look. And then shops hidden away. The shops are inside here. So here we've got a kind of like Apple shop that, you know, you can service your phone at and stuff like that. We've got some handmade goods made by hand here. So we've got the museum, and what else have we got? Some master classes, some like teaching art classes. Скажите, пожалуйста, вы такие классные выглядите, пожалуйста. А скажите, вы из Владимира, да?
Нет,
откуда?
Из Волгоградской области, и мы просто по Золотому кольцу России катаемся, поэтому...
И как Владимир?
Понравился, много экскурсии были.
Супер.
Дмитровскому собору.
Super, отлично. Спасибо огромное. Спасибо. So what do you think about the safety? Does it look like a safe place to be? Does it look like you're in danger here? Do you think that I feel like I'm in danger walking down this street? What do you think? Let me know. We've got another church bell. So this lady here, I always buy flowers from her and find someone to give them to. So let's do the same again today. Здравствуйте. So we bought some flowers, we just need to find someone to give them to now. We're on flower cam. In fact, we're on flower cam all the time in the centre of Vladimir, aren't we? Because there's flowers everywhere, but this is flower cam as well. A lot of people think all the cars are crap in Vladimir because it's a provincial town, but no, we have a mixture of loads of different types of cars. This is just a typical road, and you can see we've got some Russian cars, we've got some Chinese cars, we've got another Russian one over there, we've got a BMW, another one over there. We've got all sorts of cars in provincial Russia, and the typical type of car is the crossover. That's the most popular, but of course the Lada Niva as well. You can go anywhere in it, these bad boys. But first of all, we need to give these away. We need to find someone to give these flowers to. So we're now at the back of the main road that goes through the city centre. I'm going to walk down here because this is the area where people relax. This is the area that people come to sit outside in the summer cafes. Now it might be a little bit early for the summer cafes because everybody from Vladimir travels out of town at the weekends, and because it's a Saturday there's no one here yet. By the time we get to maybe 9-10 o'clock it's going to be really busy here. But for now it's going to be difficult just to find somebody to give it to. Come on, there's got to be someone here that I can give it to where their boyfriend's not going to punch me for the fact that I'm giving the flowers. Who can we give it to? Maybe we're just going to give it to somebody who works in one of these places. What do you think? It's a shame that I haven't got a woman of my own, a sweetheart of my own to give these flowers to. Look at this, a whole beautiful summer cafe with nobody in it at all, absolutely nobody. Got a few signs of life over there, but as I say, everyone's out of town. You saw the traffic on the bridge. That's everybody just leaving. What do you think of the atmosphere here? Do you think it's nice? Do you think we have many fights here? What do you think? Does it look like there's lots of police threatening the people and... Могу я вам подарить? Пожалуйста. What do you think about buying flowers and then giving them away to strangers on the street? Would you feel comfortable doing that? Would it be something you'd enjoy to do? Sometimes I don't think really. I remember how awkward it can be sometimes, and yeah, now I'm going to be stuck with these flowers. Let's give them to somebody here who's working, because they probably are sick and tired. Let's give them to this lady here. Здравствуйте. Это вам. Пожалуйста. Я просто хотел покупать на улице, я видел, бабушка подавал, но мне было никому подарить, так что я вам. Пожалуйста. So this is being used for a wedding, but this is a good idea. Perhaps I'll do this to someone as well myself. So as we continue down the street off the city centre, again we've got loads more of these little outdoor cafes, but they're going to be all busy in the evening, not now as I've said. I'm hoping we're going to come here in the evening today because they have 35 different types of shops. And here we've got another one, another outdoor restaurant. This is a very famous one in our town. And then next door to that one we've got a Korean restaurant. Perhaps I should go in there and make a video. I've been meaning to go in there for a while, but I don't know if I really fancy Korean food, to be fair. But what about the building itself, eh? So over this road here we've got a barber shop there, Top Gun. That's my friend's barber shop. All these flowers out here still. And of course the quality of the buildings changes a bit as you go further outside of away from the city centre. Most of these places, they're being redeveloped. So as we walk down this road here, we've got a monastery just over the road there, and then that's back up to where we started the video, up that way. So I've just realised this is paid parking. I need to work out where I'm supposed to pay. So we've got a parking app called Roo Parking. I need to pay through that. And I parked in a bloody disabled thing, didn't I? What an idiot, Sam. Oh, I can't believe me. So bad. But I didn't get clamped.